Hello, my name is Partha Sarker and I'm originally from Dhaka, Bangladesh. As you know, Dhaka is one of the most densely populated cities in the world. Almost more than like 40,000 people live per square kilometer with a population of more than 10 million people. So you can imagine, how densely populated the whole entire city is. But when we're talking about mobility and urban mobility, I think we need to think, whose mobility we are talking about. Because there are different type of people who live in Dhaka city and different classes. So class is a very important discussions into the whole issue of mobility and urban mobility. For example, there are people who have no other options other than coming to Dhaka city. For example, people who are affected like environmental refugees, they have almost lost almost everything and their land and their property and everything due to like flooding, drought or river erosion, for example. They come to Dhaka city because this is the last place for the survival. And there are people who also come from the poorer region of the country, come and live in Dhaka city and work in Dhaka city. For example, from the northern part of Bangladesh, every year because of due to lack of crop production, and they come to Dhaka city and they end up selling their own labor and do different manual jobs and odd jobs. Majority of the rickshaw pullers are actually from the northern part of Bangladesh because of the fact that they are the people who have no other option other than coming to Dhaka city. So when we talk about mobility and urban mobility, for these people, they don't have any other option, and urban mobility is tightly integrated with their lives and livelihoods. But then again, there is an emerging, affluent, educated, wealthy middle class, and who actually have a lot of access to different information and communication technologies, a lot of access to different education and different higher education facilities, different government services, and different other business opportunities and other things. For them, I think information and communication technology can play a role in order to reduce their mobility and coming to Dhaka city and coming to the urban areas. Almost every day, let me give an example. Almost every day, 61 new cars are being added into the Dhaka streets. And Dhaka is almost one of the major importer of reconditioned cars from other parts of the world, and particularly from Japan and other countries in the Southeast Asia. So, and that creates a lot of traffic congestions, causing lots of productivity loss almost every day. I see my friends, trying to travel from one part of the city to another part, almost spend almost half of the day on the street. So for them, I think it's important that government can actually decentralize its services across the country so that it's not necessary. For example, right now, all government services, if you're going for court, if you're going for better hospital, medical treatment, if you're going for better education facilities, all for everything, you have to come to Dhaka city. If those things could be decentralized, and you have proper bandwidth and infrastructure across the country, then you don't need to travel to Dhaka city, and mobility can be minimized, and you can minimize your costly travel to Dhaka city. For example, if you need land registration certificate, and you cannot get it sitting in a remote or rural area of Bangladesh, you have to travel all the way to Dhaka to get it. If you need a better treatment, you don't find a good doctor and physician in a remote part of the country. So what you have to do, you have to travel all the way to Dhaka in order to see a good doctor. So if we have some sorts of internet infrastructure where doctors sitting in the urban areas can do some sorts of remote diagnosis of the patients living in the rural areas, at least majority of the cases, you can actually minimize these expensive trips to Dhaka city and to other urban cities. So I think to an extent, this class discussions is very important, and if we can actually equally distribute these opportunities and access to opportunities across the country, then we can actually minimize the urban mobility and the concentration of the population density and environmental degradation in various ways to urban countries. And I think the overall question is related to the overall governance of the country, and the issue is that you cannot address the poverty without addressing its roots to the distribution mode of the society. And I think the distribution mode of the society has to be made equal, and at the same time, information and communication technology can play a catalyst role once you have the will to use this technology for the betterment of the people. Thank you very much.